Hey Meno Warriors, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate Hartley and I share a weekly video with you every Monday about something related to menopause. Today I'm actually going to be sharing 5 tips with you to help you build lean muscle and burn fat effectively through the menopause. So firstly, it's just really important to understand that nutrition plays a key role. And we need to eat more protein as we go through perimenopause and menopause. And just as we get older, the men too, regardless of whether they're obviously not going through menopause, but as they get older, their muscles atrophy as well. But it's more pronounced for us women. As our estrogen levels fall, cortisol levels, our stress hormones rise. Cortisol has a catabolic effect on the body. It breaks down the body's tissues, which is one of the reasons why you're at much increased risk of developing brittle bone disease. You will find it harder to put on lean muscle. You might find that your arms are going flabby, you're losing definition if you've had definition in the past, and your metabolism might be slowing down unless you're actually actively building lean muscle. So why do we want more protein? Well, if you are trying to lose weight, which many women are, you ideally want to build lean muscle because it boosts your metabolism. And when you've got lean muscle, it burns more calories throughout the course of the day. And protein is the building block of life. So not only do we need more protein to counteract the muscle loss as we go through, that catabolic effect as we go through the menopause, there are various things in the body that protein does for us. So it's not just about building lean muscle. It is really important nutrient or compound for the body. So to work out how much protein you ought to be eating every single day, aim for your ideal body weight. So say that's 140 pounds. You want to be looking to eat 140 grams of lean protein every day. And that is actually quite hard to do. I created a powerful proteins guide, which you can download, have a look at the description below, or if you're watching this on social media, click the link in my bio. And when I was really working out how much protein I would need, it's quite hard to eat that amount of protein through the day. So the powerful proteins guide, it literally breaks down sort of the best food sources to give you the biggest bang for your buck. And I found that also recently I've started incorporating a protein-rich meal before my workout. That is having a really positive effect as well. It's not only helping me get better muscle definition, my weight is coming down. I didn't have an awful lot of weight to lose, but I did have a little bit of fluff. That is coming away. But most importantly, I actually feel really strong in my workouts again. I was getting to a stage where it's just like, oh gosh, I really felt like the workouts were challenging me more than they used to do. Since I've been having my pre-workout protein meal, I've surprised myself at how well I feel during the workout and how much more I'm capable of doing. And, not just like the easier stuff, but like the mountain climbers and, the burpees and things that most of us hate. I really feel like I can do that. I've got a real sense of strength inside of me. So by just adjusting the amount of protein, by increasing the amount of protein I've been eating on a daily basis, it is having a very positive impact. Now, this is not just me. Obviously, this is my story, but you read the reports of it all over the shop. The ladies that I work with in my body confidence group, those that are really focusing on building up their protein as well, it's having a similar effect on those. The ladies that I work with across the globe, the ones of us who are really focusing on our protein, our measurements are going down, and our muscle mass is improving, our definition is improving, and it's working really well. The good thing about protein is its thermic effect. So it takes more calories, it takes more energy to digest protein than it does other compounds and nutritional compounds. So as well as it helping you build lean muscle, but if you don't actually change the amount of calories that you're eating in the course of a day, because of its thermic effect, and it takes more energy to digest protein, you can actually put yourself into a slight deficit. So that's another added advantage as well. Plus, it keeps you feeling fuller for longer. Next is calorie deficit. So yes, we need to be in a small deficit if you want to burn fat, but just a small deficit. The body's really clever. It will adjust. If you start to starve it, which most of us have done, I did that through perimenopause. I started working out more and eating less, and it was just horrible. And I didn't get any results either. The fat didn't go away, and it's just like, what the heck's happening? And you want a small deficit. But like I just mentioned, if you change nothing and you eat more protein, that if you're on the sort of borderline of maintenance calories, it might just be sufficient to put you into a slight deficit. if you have a lot of fat to burn, a lot of fat to lose, just start regular strength training and focus on eating. Because I know it's hard when you're thinking, but I've got to lose all this weight. You know, if you've got like 100 pounds or so to lose, it's one step at a time. It's 1 pound at a time. Don't look at it as trying to achieve something overnight or within a week. This might take you 18 months. It might take you 2 years. And each pound that comes off is a victory. But also remember, the scale is a really poor indicator of progress. That's why it's important to take photographs, but specifically measurements. I tend to just measure around my true waistline, and then the fat is part of my belly. And that is a really good indicator as to, you know, how you're doing with your fat loss. As you're building muscle, the scale might not move too much, because although you're burning fat, you're replacing it with lean muscle, and lean muscle is dense. Yes, your measurements will be much smaller, but you might still be weighing more than you expect to weigh because of the fact that you're replacing fat with lean muscle. So if you do start to seriously restrict your calories, you won't be able to build lean muscle. You've got to have a certain amount. So that's why you just want a small deficit, a negligible deficit. And if you really do go like the serious calorie deficit route, you're going to put your body into stress, which is just going to make you hang on to belly fat, because we have 4 times the amount of cortisol receptors around our belly. So don't put your body into stress. Let it be a very gradual process. When it comes to working out, I would follow a structured workout program. That's what I follow. They are brilliant. But if you're doing your own thing at the gym or at home, just be mindful of the mind-muscle connection. So really focus on the muscle that you're moving. And remember that even if you're like lifting a weight, pretend this is a weight and you're lifting it up, and but then resist it down. Most people lift it up and then go, don't resist it up, and then really resist it down. You don't even need weights to do that. You could put that down and you could just do this. Oh, it'd be exhausting after a few minutes, and really focus on it. That gets you so much out of it. But also, another way of doing it is like small cluster sets. So what you can do, rather than saying 8 or 10 reps of a quite heavy weight that you struggle to do the 8 or 10 reps of, break it down into smaller sections. So maybe do 2 or 3 reps of a heavier weight. So say you're trying to lift a 10-kilogram dumbbell, and you can only, you know, you really struggle to do 8 to 10 reps of lifting a 10-kilogram dumbbell. But you could do 2 or 3 reps of lifting maybe a 12-kilogram dumbbell. Focus on just doing 2 or 3 reps of the heavier weight with sort of 10 to 30 seconds in between each set. Because at the end of the day, you will still have done more reps with a heavier weight. You'll just have had a few little bits of break in between, but you will have actually achieved more from that workout. Always remember to keep perfect form. Your core always has to be engaged. Make sure your shoulders are back. Make sure you're always, like, we call it the ugly bum. So tilt your pelvis under to sort of protect your lower back. Engage your pelvic floor. I talk to so many women who've got pelvic floor issues, and I always use the jellyfish analogy. Go, you know, really focus on engaging your pelvic floor before you do a squat, before you do a lunge, before you do any movement. Particularly if you struggle with pelvic floor weakness, just focus on getting that pelvic floor held in before then you start to do your reps. The 4th tip is progression. So when you're doing various moves, and this happens to me in my workouts, there are some days I just feel like my muscle is about to burst into flames, because we may have done like an isolation move first. So we might have done a move that really triggers that one specific muscle, or maybe 2 muscles that you're really focusing on. And then you'll follow that on with a compound move. So then you'll still be using those muscles, but with other body parts. So you might be doing an upper body and a lower body move in the same move. And you can create really great results by having the isolation moves and also the compound moves. You can just get more out of the sort of the muscle sculpting when you do that. So again, if you're putting your own programs together, I would focus on the particular muscle that you want to work on, either before or after a compound move. See what works best for you. If you lose form because in the compound move, then you're too tired because you've already exhausted that muscle through the isolation move, do the compound move first, so that the compound move is, where you're using various muscle groups together, and then focus on that isolation move. You will get more definition by doing that too. Finally, remember that your recovery is a vital part of you burning fat effectively and building lean muscle. When we're working out, that's when we're creating the micro tears in our muscles. That is not building the muscle. It's the recovery afterwards, when those little micro tears get rebuilt and made stronger. Never ever do a back-to-back workout. So if you've got like booty one day, don't then follow with booty the next day, because you'll just be breaking down the good work that you've done. So you maybe do booty one day and then upper body the next day, or back one day and chest the next day. Alternate the body areas that you're working on, so that you're not risking injury, but you're not overworking those areas too. We also have what we call an unconditional recovery week. So we have 3 weeks of maybe 5 workouts a week. Obviously, each day is a different body part, and a combination of isolation moves and compound moves. And then the recovery week is generally 2 sort of lesser impact workouts, just to keep the body moving. It could be a yoga-based workout, a sort of stretchy workout, a mobility and balance workout. But it's largely there for you to recover. It's not for you to just lie on the settee and do nothing. It's not for you to then go and raid the pantry and eat all the stuff. But it is about just allowing your body to recover from, the fairly intensive training that you've done through the previous 3 weeks. You can come back stronger. It gives you a bit of a break mentally. It gives you a break physically that you need. And then by the time you get to the start of the following week, you're normally chomping at the bit to get started. I know I am. I normally do is I will follow a program 5 days a week, which allows for weekend breaks. And then, I do that over the course of several weeks. If I've done a heavy duty long program, so maybe sort of 9 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that, I will make sure I've got a full week off before I start my next program, because for me, it's my meditation. It keeps me sane. When you have a strong body, it gives you a strong mind. And as we go through menopause, it'll help you sleep better. It will help you feel happier. It will improve your gut health. It just has myriad benefits. So make sure you're eating enough, particularly protein, to build that lean muscle, and a small, negligible calorie deficit to start to bring that fat down. But remember, the more muscle you build, the more fat you will burn, and you will look and feel fantastic. So I hope that was helpful. If you've not done so already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future episodes. If you've got anything you want me to cover in a future episode, just send me a message or put it in the comments below. Thank you for your company, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon.